Hey, Shalom, Makib Shalom. First and foremost, as always, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakodash. I would like to give double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone that taught us His truth and that's what teaching His truth. Much peace, love, and salutation to the elect, beginning with 144,000, all the way down to the large multitude that believes in who the Lord will deliver in these last days. To you all I say Shalom. I'm the brother Tazamah from the Great Millstone Dallas camp, coming back today with another lesson. And I pray this lesson is edifying to the elect. And I want to do a lesson today on this article that you see here on the screen from rtnews.com. The article reads, it says, U.S. firm building 300 million AI-equipped doomsday bunker with photos. And as we know, according to biblical prophecy, which this is going to more so be a back to the basics lesson, but you know, you have newer listeners that are listening, so you know it's good to edify on these points. But the super rich of these Edomites, you know, they will attempt to escape the destruction. And you're going to have like the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the DuPonts, the Gettys, you know, all these elite banking families who are going to escape the judgment. You know, they're going to escape. When I say escape the judgment, what I mean is they're going to escape the thermonuclear destruction. All right. They're going to be in their deep underground bunkers in other places outside of the country, whether it be in England or Switzerland and things of that nature. They're going to be in their underwater resorts. They're going to be in their space stations, you know, because they're going to be our first fruits when it comes to them going into slavery. All right. Let me actually get a precept on that real quick. Salakia. There you go. And I know it's been a few days since I've done a video on Salakia for that, but man, I still pretty much am, but you know, past 3 days I was, you know, really under the weather, you know, pretty much bedridden, you know, but you know, at the end of the day, the work still got to be done. This is Psalm 149, start of verse 5, all right? It says, let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Now, this is whenever we're going to be put back into power. All right. It says, let the high praises of the Most High be in their mouth and a two-edged sword in their hand. And that's talking about a physical sword. All right. To implement judgment, to execute. Salakia. All right. It says to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people. And all right, and the heathen is talking about all the different heathen nations. All right, these wacky tacky Christians like to try to equate, they like to try to equate salvation with everybody being attached to it. But when you read the scriptures, all right, the only nation that's going to be delivered, all right, is going to be the nation of Israel, beginning with the elect. Okay. Now, that doesn't mean that the heathen aren't going to be in the kingdom of heaven. You know, they are going to be in the kingdom of heaven, but they're going to be our servants in the kingdom of heaven, which is going to be on earth. So it says to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron. You see that? To bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron. Just as we was binded with chains and we had fetters of iron upon us. All you got to do is type in a yoke of iron in Google. All right. And you clearly see what will show up. As a matter of fact, let's just do it real quick. Yoke of iron. Images. Let's do yoke of iron. Just go to images and let's just see. Boom. There you go. You see what shows up whenever you type in yoke of iron. You know, you see Jake. You know. See? So these are the things that, you know, as scripture says, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the faith and the patience of the saints. Okay, so they're gonna be putting chains and fetters of iron. You know, as the elder Renata Zakba did a lesson the other day, going into how the roles they're gonna reverse. So yes, they are going to escape, the thermonuclear destruction. They're going to think as if they're going to think as if, they're gotten away, but really it's going to be the Lord preserving them so that we, Lord willing, we have that number, we can grab their ass up. So they're gonna go to their bunkers and things of that nature, ultimately to be taken up. All right, so it says booking a place in the lavish shelter, limited to just 625 spots, reportedly cost $20 million. You see, and this is something that the super rich are going to be attempting to do. All right, it says a luxurious members-only doomsday bunker with AI-powered medical suites and indoor pools is being developed in the U.S. And I will just say this: any kind of bunker in the United States is not gonna make it. All right, America's gonna be completely pelted by way of thermonuclear missiles, so it doesn't matter if it's gonna be in the United States or not. Okay, if you're on the shores of America when this destruction comes, all right, there's no escape. Okay, it says set to open next year. The multi-million-dollar project is designed to shelter the world's super rich in the event of an apocalyptic disaster. You see, because they already know what's getting ready to come down the pipe. Okay, you got Donald Trump in office now, and he came into office pretty much red hot, passing all kinds of executive orders, and we believe through the Spirit that he's going to be the one that's going to push the RFID microchip. Okay. It says the U.S.-based company Safe, the U.S.-based company Safe, which is strategically armored and fortified environments, which specializes in secure property designs, unveiled plans to build the $300 million fortress in Virginia, just outside Washington earlier this month. The project, named AIRI, is set to open in 2026. Now, when you look up AIRI, I looked this up earlier. When you look up AIRI, all right, AIRI, it says eagle's nest. You see? Eagle's nest. Nest of a bird of prey. Perhaps from Latin area, level ground, garden bed, but it was pretty ironic that the first thing it said was an eagle's nest. And it made me think about the book of Obadiah when I seen that. All right, this is Obadiah chapter 1, verse 3. It says, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? And this is talking about the pride of Esau. All right. It says, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, right, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith Yahweh. You see, so even though, they're gonna attempt to escape the destruction, set their nest amongst the stars, exalting themselves as the eagle, because the eagle is the highest flying bird, and the eagle is a very proud, is proud. It represents, pride. You see, it says, thence will I bring thee down, saith Yahweh. You see that? So it's very ironic how they're calling this, this project, they're calling it AIRI, which means an eagle's nest. Right. So it says the project, named AIRI, is set to open in 2026. It could house 625 wealthy individuals in the event of a global disaster, according to the company. And that global disaster is talking about thermonuclear destruction, which is set to destroy America. OK, the underground bunker, featuring robotic medical suites, a lavish indoor swimming pool, a bowling alley, a climbing wall, and gourmet dining, will offer clients the chance to survive if they can afford the entry fee, an investment of $20 million per person. And once again, like I said, if it's here in the shores of America, it doesn't matter if you're going to have a nuclear bunker. All right, that bunker is not going to stand a chance for the judgment of Yahweh Bashim Shai. Once again, you're going to have bunkers in different areas of the world where the super rich are going to retreat to, but there's not going to be any life, I rather say, all right, that's going to be able to be sustained after the judgment that the Lord brings to America. That's why, the scripture says, what, come down to thy chambers, to the indignation be overpassed. You're going to have to be delivered. You're going to have to be delivered out of America and beamed up into a chariot in order to even make it. It says, we're going to get to the precepts here in a second. The whole reason Ari came to be is that, I'll read it again. The whole reason Ari came to be is that after building multi-million-dollar sanctuaries for our clients on the estates and super yachts, they still traveled away from their protected homes to locations with a lower level of protection. We'll skip that. Let's see. Security reasons. So yeah, it was just going into the information on the bunkers. But let's get some precepts just to back up, how these super rich are going to attempt to do this. All right, this is Revelation chapter 6, verse Revelation chapter 6, verse 12. It says, And I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood, and the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs, when she is shaken of a mighty wind. And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and that's going into the mushroom cloud. All right, that's going into the destruction. All right, you can line this up with Isaiah the 34th chapter. It says, "And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places." You see, because remember, when these missiles hit, it's going to literally and physically cause the earth to shake. That's why the scripture says that the earth rocked to and fro like a drunkard. So it's going to cause new land masses to show up. It's going to cause volcanic eruptions. It's going to be complete and utter chaos when these missiles hit. Okay. Getting down to the point. Verse 15, it says, "And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man, hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains." See that? They hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains, because when these super rich go into these bunkers, they're gonna have slaves and servants and things of that nature down there with them too. They ain't about to be down there doing things on their own. They still gonna have people, doing things for them. All right, that word dens is speleon. All right, that word is speleon, and it says a cave. All right. The only thing is now you have a luxury cave. You see, it says a cavern. It says by implication a hiding place or resort. And you see, this is nothing more than just a resort, pretty much. And it's a hiding place for the super rich. Okay. It says, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb. You see, they're gonna say, hide us from the face of Yahweh Shai. It says, for the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? You see that? Who's gonna be able to stand, and who's gonna be able to withstand in that day? Let's get another one. Isaiah 2. Let's see. This is Isaiah 2, and 17. It says, "And the loftiness of man shall be bowed down." So like, and the loftiness of man shall be bowed down, and the haughtiness of men shall be made low, and Yahweh alone shall be exalted in that day. You see that? That's when all pride is going to go out the window. You know, all kinds of pride and arrogance and all that crazy work, all that stuff's going to be out the window whenever Yahweh Shai is completely done with this place. It says, "In the idols, in the idols he shall utterly abolish, and they shall go into the holes." Man, I keep hitting the screen so like you. "And they shall go into the holes of the rocks, and into the caves of the earth, for fear of Yahweh, and for the glory of his majesty, when he ariseth to shake terribly the earth." You see that? So when the Lord comes to shake terribly the earth, which, you know, the chariots just coming into this atmosphere alone is going to cause the earth to shake. It's going to cause them to, you know, go into their underwater retreats, you know, the underground, you know, you got something called DUMBs, deep underground military bases. You see, and they're miles deep. You know, you have and then you're going to have your you know, like your space stations. Why you think you have the likes of Donald Trump and Elon Musk talking about, you know, planting a flag on Mars and things of that nature? No, man, they ain't trying to go out to Mars or plant no flag. You know, no, they that's not what they really trying to do. You know, what they want to do now is, you know, they want to test themselves to be able to go out into the heavens, to be able to escape the wrath. You know, it says, "In that day," verse 20, "in that day, a man shall cast his idols of silver and his idols of gold, which they made each one of, which they made each one for himself to worship, to the moles and to the bats, to go into the clefts of the rocks and into the tops of the ragged rocks." Because you have these you know, you have these resorts, for lack of better words, that are actually in mountains too. You know, and I want to say that's that movie called, I want to say it was called Deep Impact, where it showed you them. It was like an asteroid getting ready to hit the Earth. So you had these people that was going into this bunker, but it was in a mountain. It had these big metal doors. Right, so it says to go into the clefts of the rocks and into the tops of the ragged rocks, for fear of Yahweh and for the glory of his majesty, when he ariseth to shake terribly the earth. You see? Let's grab another one. Let's get Jeremiah 16. Let's get that one. This is Jeremiah 16, verse 16. It says, "Behold, I will send for many fishers, saith Yahweh, and they shall fish them." And this is what you get. This is what you see happening right now. See, Yahweh Basham Shai has us out there on the highways and byways and doing these lessons because right now we're fishing. Okay, we're fishing for the elect. But very, very soon the tides are going to turn, as we're going to read. It says, "And after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out of the holes of the rocks." See that? And that's when the Lord is going to give his men spiritual power to search out these devils, man, and find them. We're going to be turned into hunters in that day. Okay? That word hunters is tazayad. All right? The word is tazayad. It just says hunter. Look at the root. So it's tazayad. It says hunting, game hunted. See? And it's going to be, and we're going to take pleasure in hunting these, hunting these elites down. And it's not going to be like it's going to be hard. We're not going to know where they at. You know, we're just going to, we're going to know exactly where they are. You know, we're going to know exactly their location. You know, they're going to have all kinds of, metal door, these big metal doors they're going to have these big metal doors being closed off, trying to stop us from getting in. And we're going to be able to use our spiritual power to get in, and there's not going to be anything that they could do. So they're going to pretty much be game to us, man. You see, man, Lord willing, I'm on that number, man. I can't wait for that day. I can't wait for that day, man. This is Amos chapter 9. verse 2. It says, though they dig into hell, then shall my hand take them. You see, in this hell, in the Hebrew, is shot wall, which means pretty much diving into the grave or the earth. You see? Who the hell can dig into hell, right? For you wacky-tacky Christians out there. It says, though they dig into hell, thence shall mine hand take them. Though they climb up to heaven, thence will I bring them down. You see, and this is them going into their deep underground bases as well as their space station retreats. It says, and though they hide themselves in the top of Carmel, I will search and take them out thence. And though they be hid from my sight in the bottom of the sea, thence will I command the serpent, and he shall bite them. See that? So even when they go underwater, Leviathan is going to be called out to get their ass too. You see? So there's no escape. Even though they're going to try to do all that they can do to escape the judgment of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, there's no escape. There's no escape that they can do. So they can build these luxury doomsday bunkers, making it look, top of the line, but at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, it's not going to stop them from serving their judgment. But that's all I want to do. That's all I want to go into. Lord willing, I pray this lesson was edifying to the elect of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Hakodash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and elders, great millstone that taught us his truth, and that's what teaching his truth, and much peace, love, and salutation to the elect. Shalom.